earlier today, I did a video about 7 definitions of racism. I left out one, and it was intentional because I really don't know how to categorize this. Condescension. It is a racism that is pernicious, even though probably most of the time it's actually unintentional. Okay? The very aware people might be understanding that they're condescending. I think most people don't, and in a zeal to actually do good for a minority group, they're doing maybe the most pernicious harm short of physical violence. So, example, it came up big in 2020 that it's okay for minorities to riot. And this was the position of almost every white prominent progressive in mid-2020 following George Floyd. Now, not one of those people would condone their own 18-year-olds committing the same riotous acts, but it's okay for minorities. That is so condescending, and it sends an awful message about how you think of yourself as better. But these kind of things have persisted for a long time, okay? In education, they have dropped education standards because minority groups weren't meeting them as much, so they get rid of the standards. Now, that's condescending. Of late, dropping educational offerings for advanced kids because not enough black kids were in those categories taking those courses, so we will wipe out those courses altogether. People feel better, but they don't get better in the process. When you have something that you strive for, even if 95% of you don't make it into that category, the process of striving is helpful along the way. And the thought that you can't get there and others are lowering standards for you is heinous. But that is what blacks face when white liberals drop standards. African Americans also face a pernicious racism when white progressives call the existence of a whiteness ideology. It doesn't exist. That's a figment, but it's been made up by progressives. And so it looks like this, a phrase, if I work hard in America, I can be successful. And that is called an example of whiteness ideology. Now, if an African American adopts that, it's a good mantra. He or she is thought of as embracing whiteness ideology. How much of an impediment is it if a progressive teacher tells her kids success means you're buying into white ideology? Most African Americans in this country are successful, and not because they ascribe to white ideology. Standards are universal. The epitome of being egalitarian is treating everybody equal. As soon as you change standards for one group, that is an inequality to foist an ideology on people that being successful is losing your own culture. May God damn you for foisting that on children. I'm Mark Stewart.